Hey everybody, it's Shelly. I just realized just how crazy my hair looks. Just a little side note on my hair. I have never had curly hair. All of this is just this natural wave. I think it's my gray hair that's coming in a little wavy, and I color it. So like the top of my hair, you can kind of see a little bit of dark and silver, but this is all colored blonde. Anyways, I'm sure you just tuned in for my hair update. So today I just wanted to talk about the 5 pillars of life and the law of attraction. I know a lot of people are struggling right now with like, I didn't attract this, and I just want to point out that yes, you did. I think the most important part of using the law of attraction to your advantage is taking responsibility. And I totally take responsibility for my little teeny tiny part in this big global situation that we're in. So I just wanted to go through the 5 pillars. So the first pillar that I have listed is money. And so my money situation is great. We have a good savings account. My business is still thriving. I'm a reseller on eBay and Poshmark. Oscar's being a goofball. What are you doing, Oscar? Maybe he'll come in and say hi in a minute. Anyways, we're just doing really good. My husband is still working. He's working more than ever. I think Marley might be awake. Anyways, and we're doing good. And I credit that to my belief in abundance and the law of attraction. I know some people are struggling and I have sympathy for them, but I also know that there are resources, there are tons of places hiring, there's just like so much that is available right now. And I just feel like if you are in that situation where you're in a reality of lack, that it's your responsibility to get out of that. And I might get a lot of backlash. I already have on Facebook, but it's true. Like, I'm doing good. I have several other friends that are doing really good. And it's just interesting when we post things on social media and the backlash we get with people like basically attacking us because it's not okay that we're doing good, because we need to not say anything and just feel bad for everybody. And it's like, I'm not going to dull my shine. I feel like it's important to be a shining example and show people what life can look like even in so-called hard times. This is not a hard time for me. My life has not changed really in any other way than I can't go thrifting right now, but I have found tons of other resources to find things to resell, and I'm reselling daily. And I'm not taking my son to high school and picking him up from high school every day because there's no school, which just gives me more time freedom. So that's good for me. For my son, he's a senior in high school. A lot of people are just like, oh my God, these poor seniors. He couldn't be happier. He was really struggling with going to school every day. He doesn't even want to go to his ceremony, and I'm totally fine with that. I get it. It wasn't about the ceremony for him. And I have to also say that our daughter, who graduated in 2016, she was the president. She was, did the video announcements. She was a huge part of her school. She was the person that died in the simulated drunk driving accident that they did in front of the whole school. Like, that was rough, but that's a whole different story. But everybody knew her. She was on stage at the graduation ceremony like 80% of the time. So it was a whole different situation. She would have never missed that. This kid is totally different. I get both sides, and it doesn't bother me. He's still getting his cap and gown because we bought it. And when he gets that, he can decorate it and we'll take pictures. And that's enough for me if that's what he wants to do. I'm totally fine with that. Okay, so the next thing is career. A lot of people are working from home, which is a huge change, or they've lost their job. And I know for me, I have had contrast. I call these situations contrast. throw me into something even bigger and better. So just as an example, in 2008, I was a mom. That was my main job, stay-at-home mom. I had been dabbling in reselling for years, since like 2000, and I dislocated my knee. I didn't have insurance. I did go to urgent care. They took an x-ray to make sure there was no bone fragments. And then they told me, you need to talk to an orthopedic surgeon immediately. I'm like, that's not happening. I don't have insurance at that time. My husband had just left his business. Left his full-time job to go to his own business that he'd been working at for like 2 or 3 years. And we didn't have insurance because he left that full-time job and we couldn't afford insurance yet. I healed my own knee and I started my resale career on a huge level because I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't drive, so I just started listing everything that wasn't nailed down. And that's how I really got into this. So as far as career goes, now that career is a blessing in a situation like this because I don't have to rely on a paycheck. My husband's work is going great. He's an essential worker. He's working overtime and Saturdays because they are so busy. He works in manufacturing and they make parts for like big companies like Georgia Pacific, who sells toilet paper or manufactures toilet paper. So because a lot of shops did have to shut down, he is just every day like, okay, here we go, because it's just so busy. But he's also so grateful to have it. So that's my little thing on career. And I'm just giving you like little updates on myself. And I'm just saying this because like different situations can throw you into bigger and better situations. You can look at this as a total disaster and total chaos and drama and just sink into it like quicksand, or you can say this is going to put me in a better place. It might be rough for a little while. I might lose a few things on the way, but just keep going. Like, this is an experience. We're here for the experiences. So that's the way I think about it. And then relationships. For me, this has been amazing. Like, what other time in history has, could something like this happen and we can still talk to everybody? I'm doing a video that like bazillions could see potentially. That would be great. But, like I can video chat my mom who lives an hour away. I can't visit her right now. I can call my daughter anytime I want. I can order online. I know that's not relationships, but it's just like, my son's home right now because he's not in school. So, I'm spending a lot more time with him. I know a lot of families, we're not really changing that much, but a lot of families are self-quarantining in their house and they're spending lots of time. Like, they haven't even got to know their kids and now they're getting to know their kids, and kids are learning like how to cook and different skills. I've seen, dads showing the kids how to change a tire when he never thought he had time before, and just stuff like that. Like, the relationships in this situation can be amazing. You can turn it into whatever you want it to be, and it's really up to you, and it's all about how you perceive and the opportunities that you see in each situation. So with relationships, this is just helping so many people get closer. And there's also, there's more domestic violence and child abuse and stuff. I just don't like to focus on that. And I know it happens, and I'm not denying that it happens, but I just think that it's so much better to see all the amazing things that people are doing. I just saw a like neighborhood dance party, and somebody was playing it, and it was a Justin Timberlake song, and they were playing it and driving slowly down the street, and each family had their own little rendition of, their dance. Some of them were doing the wave. One of them was acting like they were in a swimming pool with, goggles on and stuff. It was just so cute. Like, neighborhoods are coming together, just as far as relationships. That's amazing, And then body. Okay, I'm just going to talk about my body. And this doesn't have much to do with the self-quarantine because I'm home every day anyways. I work from home. My relationship with food is, I'm going to just call it an addiction. I have an addiction to sweets. I have an addiction to just eating too much. And I decided this week, and I've been doing it, that I am going to take better care of my body. I do intermittent fasting, and what that is basically is where you eat for a period of time and then you fast for a period of time. And people usually start out doing like an 8-16, so they eat for 8 hours and then they fast for 16 hours. So that can be like noon to 8, that can be like 10 to 6, whatever it is. I'm because I've done intermittent fasting before, I'm not afraid to go to smaller windows. So right now I'm going to a 4 to 6 hour window. So I'm dedicated to not eating until around noon and then stopping by around 4 to 6 o'clock in the evening. And that's just working really good for me. My digestive system has some issues, so it's just really good to give my whole system a break with all of that. And then I'm really concentrating on eating better. So like yesterday, I didn't eat until almost noon, and I made tacos. So I had some tacos. I used spinach instead of lettuce. I drained the ground beef. I fry my own taco shells because they're so yummy that way. But I'm not depriving myself, but I'm just doing little things to make it healthier. And then last night, or then later in the day, I had French toast, and it was just because I was craving sweet. So I had French toast with some strawberries. I kind of limited the syrup that I put on it, but it was still super yummy. I don't really eat gluten, but I can eat sourdough and it doesn't get to me. So I had the sourdough bread with that. And I get really good sourdough bread that my local supermarket makes. So anyways, so I'm just doing that. I'm just trying to eat healthier. I'm not eating as much. I was just throwing everything I could into that window, and then I was just miserable for the rest of the time, and that's not what this is about. I'm also working out, doing yoga and small HIIT workouts. I've been walking with my husband for like the last week and a half, and that's just been awesome. Just to get outside and walk and talk, and that's kind of been our time to just catch up with each other and stuff. So for me right now, my physical body is a big thing, because I'm just like, I need to get back into loving my body and treating it better. And so that's what I'm doing. And then the last thing is spirit. And as humans, we can get lost in the ego and the physical human experience. I have no problem being an ego, because that's what we came here for. But I'm starting to like really understand the balance. So with the situation that we're in, I see it as a political economic move. I'm not sure what it's about. I know that it's probably got to do with the election and, all the agendas of everybody trying to make everybody else look bad. And I just think that the whole thing's ridiculous. And, it's irritating me that we're losing our freedoms. That's just my opinion. You can agree or disagree. You don't have to watch this video. The other part of me, and the spiritual part of me, and I've been feeling this from the beginning, even when I got, kind of fearful, like, what the hell's going on, was this is a reboot. It's a reboot for us as humans. It's a reboot for the earth. It's a reboot for us spiritually. I believe that we are all connected. We are all of our souls come from source energy. We all come from that to come here and have these incredible experiences. This is an incredible experience. And we all go back to that source energy. For me, I just look at it as just being pure love. Like, we can't even imagine what it is, but it's just, I'm not afraid of it. The ego human part of me wants to stay here as long as I can and have all these experiences. But I also know that sometimes you don't get to make those choices. So I just posted a thing on Facebook, and it was about the real numbers of the, flu versus this. And I got a lot of backlash from that, because in the article, it said that old people are dying from this. And a lot of people were like, oh, that's so insensitive. But it's true. Old people die. I don't think that death, we look at death as like this tragic thing. I don't look at death as a tragic thing. I look at it as a relief for a lot of people that are sick and in pain. I look at it as a huge transition, just as important as birth. And so that's where my spiritual place is I really feel like this is a huge reboot. Part of me is just like so excited for it, and then the ego human part of me is just like, what the hell's going on? So I'm just learning that it's okay to be in both of those spots at the same time. I'm not obsessing about it. I'm not going to go to my, you know, government and freak out, or, you know, be some sort of leader of some huge thing. But I definitely feel like there's starting to be kind of a pushback. Like, no, we live in a free country. We get to do these things. But I also feel like when all of this is over, it's just going to be so refreshing. And it already feels refreshing to me. Like you know, I just feel like, you know, and this can be looked at as kind of insensitive, and it kind of goes back to the money part, but people that are prepared financially, which takes work and takes dedication and takes doing the right thing with money, right now are not hurting, while people that were not in that space are hurting. And so, hey Mel.
Hello.
I'm doing my video.
Hello, video.
Marley says hi. So anyways, that is my video for the day. I appreciate whoever watches this. I will share it on Facebook and other social media. And I hope you guys have a great day. Like I said, I'm just kind of going over my experiences with all of this. I hope that you can relate. If you have any ideas of videos I can do in the future, let me know. And also, if anybody ever wants to pop on here with me and do a video with me, we could do it interview style or just a discussion. I would totally be into that. So I will talk to you later. Have a great Wednesday. Subscribe, hit the bell if you want to see when I'm on. And bye.